a monstrous thing aboard this station. From the moon. That's what killed Weber.
What kind of a monstrous thing?
Look this way, Doctor. You will understand. Here, Doctor. You are the first of your world to be looking at our solar system, the Astron. This is our planet, Astron Delta.
At the top.
Beyond the outer limits of human adventure, beyond the barrier of human credibility, fighting the unknown forces and secret terror.
There's a monstrous thing aboard this station. From the moon. That's what killed Weber.
What kind of a monstrous thing?
Look this way, Doctor. You will understand. Here, Doctor. You are the first of your world to be looking at our solar system, the Astron. This is our planet, Astron Delta.
What is up, fuckers? How are y'all doing tonight? It is Thursday, it's 7 p.m., and you know what that means. It is time for some Spectre Vision. I am Londo, and we are back. So, yeah, I know I've had kind of a erratic streaming schedule for the last couple of weeks, but it's been a hella crazy month and a half at work lately. But things have been slowing down a little bit, and tonight is the start of my weekend, so we're gonna have some fun and play some Pokemon. What up, Ghost? And I actually have something a little bit different planned for tonight. So I know normally on Thursdays we do some horror streaming, but we haven't done a Pokemon stream in almost like a month and a half, maybe 2 months since the last one that we did. So I figured let's do some Pokemon tonight, but let's make it a little bit extra special. So what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to rip a Mega Evolutions ETB. And the reason I wanted to do this is because it is Mega Lucario themed, and it comes with some Mega Lucario battle sleeves. And also today I got the new Mega Lucario League battle deck. So what we're going to do is not only rip the ETB, but we will use the sleeves for the battle deck, and I will also be retooling the battle deck and improving it. Now, out of the box, these battle decks are pretty good. They're a very functional deck, especially the ones that are the League battle decks, which is the highest tier of battle decks that they have. And right out of the box, you can take it to a tournament and probably do okay with it. But if you are really looking to make a competitive deck with some of the best competitive metas, there's some things that you can do to retool it. So I will be doing that, building this deck on stream and showing you all my process and how I put decks together. So yeah, this will be kind of fun, right? Something a little different. All right, so first let me go ahead and show you guys what I'm trying to do in the game. So I'm going to pull up the Pokemon TCG Live app, where I've already mapped out this deck. Now this deck list is based off of the Natalie Miller recommendation for the Mega Lucario deck. So this is what it is. I'm gonna show you it in action. So the Mega Lucario deck is it's probably one of the strongest fighting decks in the format right now, and it all revolves around a couple of different things. One, the Mega Lucario being your prime attacker, has a really great basic attack that can accelerate energy from your discard pile, and a really strong secondary attack. And it also has the Solrock and Lunatone draw engine, which is a really efficient draw engine where you discard fighting energy cards in order to draw extra cards from your deck. Now, the Mega Lucario's first attack allows you to pull those same discarded cards out from your discard pile and attach them to your benched Pokemon. So it's kind of a really good cycle of drawing, attacking, and recharging your bench. Yeah, I was surprised how intuitive they were the first time I used the League battle deck. Yeah, and that's kind of the idea of the League battle decks, is they're meant to be very functional right out of the box and not overly complicated. Now, it could be said that by the time a League battle deck releases, that deck archetype has already been in the competitive play for a while and has already been perfected. So you're kind of dealing with an early draft version of what the deck is, so it's a little far behind. And that's why, like, updating a League battle deck is actually surprisingly easy and cheap too. So, you know, the Lucario League battle deck I got for like $18, and the cards. Feed that cat. Hey, that cat. Ghosty, thank you for that sub. Feed that resub. So let's go ahead and feed Archie for you. Listen up for that crunch. Big ol' stretch. Yeah, he was just taking a little bit of a nap on the armrest of the couch. So yeah, like I was saying, this deck pretty decent out of the box, and but because it's a little bit dated from like the current versions of the Mega Lucario decks that are running in the meta scene, it could stand for some improvement. Now I have most of the cards, I think, to improve this deck, minus maybe a couple. But I printed a couple proxies that I can fit in for the time being. But yeah, I'll show you all that process too coming up. All right, so not off to a great start. I mean, I'm just playing against the AI, so I'm definitely going to win because the AIs are usually garbage. They make a lot of really dumb decisions and don't play the obvious routes. So first off, the priorities are establishing the Lunatone and the Solrock, which is the draw engine for this deck. Watch this be the one time to kick your ass. There's only been one. Oh, dang it. I clicked the wrong Pokemon. Damn it. I'm supposed to get the Solrock. There's only one time where I actually lost against the AI, and it was because I was like really testing a stupid deck idea. And yeah, it did not go well. So one of the changes that is in the modern versions of the deck is the Rocky Energy, which is a great energy card because it, as long as it's attached to a Pokemon, it provides fighting energy. Prevent all effects of attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to this fighting Pokemon this card is attached to. So effects of attack are any kind of status effects like poison, sleep, paralyze, or confusion, or burn, or placing of damage counters as an effect of an attack. Not as damage, but as an effect of that attack. So meaning things like Dragapult's Phantom Dive ability, not attack not putting any damage counters on your bench Pokemon. So it would stop that. Did you notice the cat camera just flickering right there? That was kind of weird. Let me know if it keeps doing that again. Something's going on with my cat cam. Alright, so where are we at right here? Not in a great spot. I don't have what I need here to advance. I didn't set up my draw engine, so I'm kind of at a loss. Cursed cat cam, right? Alright, we'll go ahead and pass the turn. How are you doing tonight, Ghosty? How's your week been? This week had been exceptionally crazy. I had to go in to work super early on Tuesday for a really important project, and so I had to be at work at 3, which means I left my house at 2, which means I was up at like 1:30. It was not great, but you know, that's what you got to do. But everything went really well, and all the stress and like long hours and stuff I'd been putting in at work had been leading to that one day, so it was definitely a relief whenever everything went well. It's been an okay week, very few meltdowns in comparison to the few. Oh, you did all right, dude? Still not getting what I need. Okay, so what we can use is the Fighting Gong. Fighting Gongs are awesome. It allows you to search your deck for either a basic Pokemon or a basic fighting energy. And we use it to get the Solrock, which we then can activate the Lunatone's ability, Lunar Cycle. During your turn, if you have a Solrock in play, you may discard a basic fighting energy card from your hand in order to use this ability. Draw 3 cards. You can't use it more than once in a turn. So, but you have to have both the Solrock and the Lunatone in play in order to get the advantage of that. And again, do not have my Mega Lucario, so we're going to go ahead. No, we'll just get the Lunatone there. Yeah, I can't really do anything, so we'll pass the turn. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. We're going to get another energy with this Fighting Gong. Uno moment on the phone. What up, Soil Dope? Today's question of the day. Oh, actually, I forgot to update it since last time, but I don't know if anybody answered it last time. So, what now extinct gaming series do you feel deserves a reboot and why? I already know my answer for this one. Alright, so we're going to retreat the Lunatone into the Solrock. Banjo-Kazooie! Yeah, when was the last Banjo-Kazooie game that they made? I know they've made cameos in other games, like in Smash Bros. And stuff. But, oh, Okami. I never played Okami. I know it was beautiful. It was a gorgeous game. But I never got a chance to play that one. I think they re-released it like on PS3 or something, or PS4, didn't they? All right, Screamtail. All right, so far the computer is doing all right. All right, okay, what can I do here? We're gonna bench another Riolu. We're going to Lily's Determination and hope we get into that Mega Lucario. Oh, it's dope. Okay. So you changed your name. Okay. They did an HD remaster. Yeah, it's on Steam. Oh, it's on Steam. Okay, I thought it was just a PlayStation exclusive. Legal reasons. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Just kidding. New era. Hey, I'm all for rebranding. Hey! Oh, what just happened? Ghost! You just gift subbing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gift subs and kicking off a hype train. We are already past the level 1 hype train into the level 2 hype train with those gift subs. Yes, so let's get the dance, all your best dancing emotes. Let's see them in the chat. Let's do it. Hype train, let's go. Spanish. Everything's fine. Was that an accident? Did you mean to do that, Ghost? You needed to make it a round number. Yeah, let's see those dancing emotes. Let's see if Archie will dance. Dance, Archie. Archie is not amused. Archie is not dancing. I love it. I love the dancing emotes. Look at him. He's just so like, ah, God. What's funny is he knows that this is the start of the stream, so he recognizes the music, but he's like, we're already streaming. What's going on? What the hell's going on here? Dance, Archie? No. All right. He is not amused. Archie is not amused. Thank you so much, Ghost, for those gift subs. They're going to some good folks too. To Dope. Dope's getting one. Nabadaz. Let's see. Motion 500K. To DJ Feel the Vibe and Tom ST, all getting some gift subs courtesy of aptly named Ghost. You are too kind, Ghosty. Always gonna believe in you. Aw. You believe in me even when others don't. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do here. We are going to evolve into the Mega Lucario. And we'll put a Rocky Energy on this Riolu. And what should I do? Should I can take out his Clefairy EX. Let's do that. We're going to do that. So we're going to evolve into the Hariyama, and Hariyama has a really great ability called Heave-Ho Catcher. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may use this ability. Switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon into the active spot. So it's like a free boss's orders whenever you evolve it. We're going to use that to bring in the Lily's Clefairy. We're going to retreat the Solrock into the Mega Lucario using Mega Brave for 270 damage and getting a 2-prize knockout. Big ol' punchin'. Big ol' punchin' boy. So yeah, the Mega Lucario can do some pretty big damage, especially when augmented with cards like Premium Power Pro, or Triple P as some may call it. During this turn, attacks used by your fighting Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon, and that does stack. So I run 4 in this deck. You can potentially stack that for an extra 120 damage. P. Lots of P. Alright. What should I do? Let's Lily. Let's get a fresh new hand, because nothing here in my hand actually helps me any. Okay. We can Lunar Cycle, discarding a fighting energy to draw 3 more cards. And the effect of Mega Brave, so you get to do 270 damage, but during your next turn, this Pokemon cannot use Mega Brave. So I can't use that same 270 damage attack, which I don't need. I can use Aura Jab, which is 130 damage, minus 30 because of resistance. Attach up to 3 basic energy, fighting energy cards from your discard pile to your bench Pokemon in any way that you like. And what do you know? I have 3 fighting energies in my discard, so we're going to use that attack to get a... Ooh, actually, I can attach an energy. I'll attach one for turn to the Riolu here. So that Riolu, if I choose to evolve him, he is powered up and ready to go. So we're Aura Jabbing, getting a knockout. The 3 energies are going to go to the Hariyama. And the reason I want to put it on the Hariyama is because his attack is no slouch either. So for 3 fighting energies, it'll do 210 damage, but also does 70 damage to itself. So kind of a good late game attacker to kind of finish off some big Pokemon. So the hype chests have been sent out. If you were part of the hype train, you should be getting those emotes there. I got a little fish one. Oh, you got a kitty one. Yes, I love it. Let's go. Let's go with the kitty. The serving kitties. Luckily, I have a switch, so we'll switch, get that Lucario back in. And I already, at this point, already have my opponent kind of on the ropes here. There's not enough time for them to build anything up. So I'm just going to whoop their ass with the Aura Jab. Now, I do have this Lucario in hand, but I don't want to evolve the Riolo just yet, because sometimes you can paint yourself into a corner by benching or putting too many Mega Pokemon in play. So it's best to kind of keep it until you actually need it. I love all the kitties. I love all the kitties. You know what? Since we got that hype train, we've also hit our sub goal. What am I gonna do for the sub goal? Maybe I'll open a prismatic pack. I think I might have a prismatic pack somewhere around here. A prismatic evolutions pack. We can do that. Special for that. All right, let's see. Well, I mean, I don't really need to do anything. I can just finish these guys off here. So we're just gonna do that. Just keep working on them. What's funny is they're all psychic type Pokemon, so they are resistant to the fighting, but even with the resistance, I'm still doing enough damage to knock out their Pokemon. And 1 prize away means I have the win. So this is the deck that we're going to be building tonight on stream. So firstly, we will rip open this Mega Evolutions Elite Trainer box so that I can get the sleeves for it, which are Lucario themed. And then we will be opening up the Mega Lucario League Battle deck and assembling that deck with some minor alterations that I've researched for that. They put the Hero's Cape on the routes to get its HP up to 170, but it matters not, because not only do we have the Premium Power Pro, but I can use the Mega Brave to do 270 damage to collect the final prize card. All right, let's do this. You know what? I want a drink. I want a beer. Is anybody gonna have a beer with me tonight? Let me go grab a beer real quick. Okay, I'm back, and I brought my beer. Gonna open up a drink after Nate gets home. Gotta help him unload the generator from the Subaru. Oh, a generator, huh? So, I went to the fridge and got a beer. And the only beers that we had were Mexican beers. And you can't have a Mexican beer without lime, so I had to go get a lime out of the fridge and cut a lime so that I can put it into my beer. It's a whole process. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's doing work. That's why he's not coming to Pokénut on Saturday. Shame. But we'll still have a pretty good crowd. We'll have to play in his honor. That is crisp and refreshing. All right, let me get this camera set up, and we'll start ripping some packs, gang. What do you say? I'm going to try not to be as messy as I was last week. Were you messy last week? You know what, Ghost? You and I need to play, because I feel like sometimes we don't play. And you know what I'm going to do this week? I'm going to set a timer, so we'll start everybody in rounds. That way we can... we don't end up getting stuck playing the same person all night. I feel like we have a tendency to do that sometimes. He just pulled in. BRB. Okay. And I'm getting the camera set up over here. Hello, camera. Hello, camera. Why are you not cameraing? Oh, great. The freaking card camera is not working. Why? Why? Why can't I have nice things? I know this is the right camera. Come on. I literally was just looking at this camera a second ago. Oh, I just got an error on from the camera app. That's something. Okay, so my camera's being wonky. I don't know why. That's not good. It was literally just working a second ago. Oh man, if it doesn't work, I don't know what I'm gonna do. The other cameras are working. Yeah, the cat cam's working fine. Yeah, I'm getting an error when I try to open the camera app. I don't know why. But like the other camera's working fine. All right, let me try unplugging the camera and then plugging it back in. Let's see if that works. See if that worked. Come on, camera. Okay, I'm seeing it in my camera software, so that is good. I just need to get it working in the streaming software. There we go. Yes, okay, we fixed it. We got the overhead camera working. Let's go, gang. We did it. Mission accomplished. We're going home. Pack it up. It's hard to maneuver a beer bottle all around this setup that I have here. Okay, so everything is working. Let me adjust the mat just a little bit too. All right, so we are going to be starting off with a Mega Evolutions ETB, Elite Trainer Box. I've actually had this one for a while. I just have not ripped it yet. And I didn't realize I didn't have it until I was looking for the sleeves that come with this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, have I not opened a Mega Evolutions ETB? I have not. So let's do it right now. This is going to be my first Mega Evolutions ETB. So in an ETB, an Elite Trainer Box, we get 9 Pokemon TCG Mega Evolution Booster Packs, 1 full art promo card featuring Riolu, 65 card sleeves, 40 Pokemon TCG Energy cards, a player's guide to Mega Evolution expansion, 6 damage counter dice, 1 competitive legal coin flip die, 1 plastic coin, a collector's box to hold everything, with 6 dividers to keep it all organized, and a code card for Pokemon Trading Card Game Live. You always want to know what the dice end up looking like? I know, right? That's like one of the coolest thing. I like the dice and then the promos. The promos are really cool. And if you get the Pokemon Center ETB, it comes with, I think, 2 extra packs and another copy of the promo card, but with the Pokemon Center insignia stamped on it. And that stamp is worth a lot of money. It actually almost doubles the or triples the price of the card because it's so exclusive. Lots of cardboard. All right, so in this, the player's guide is actually really helpful. It's a little booklet that tells you a lot about the set, kind of where it came from, what the theming was for the expansion set, and what's really great is toward the back, you've got a layout of all of the cards included in this set, and it tells you which ones are, what the rarities are, whether they are the standard cards, whether they have a reverse holo foil set. So there's a whole roadmap of all the cards in this set. And a lot of people will like to do what's called a master set, where they collect every card in the set. And so this is a nice little guidebook that shows you every card that is included, including the rare cards. Now they won't do the promos because the promos come out along the lifespan of the set, so the promo cards will not be included as part of that. But yeah, you've got everything in here. Really cool guidebooks. A wild amount of money increase, yes. All right, so here is the ETB, and it got a really like kind of sturdy. It comes with a sturdy little box too, so you can put all your cards in there. I use them to put like bulk cards in, and I need to sort and whatnot. All right, so here are the sleeves, the Mega Lucario sleeves, which is actually the whole reason why I'm opening this ETB tonight was just for the sleeves, because I wanted them for this battle deck that I'm building tonight on the stream. But I figure we're gonna rip some cards, might as well rip them from an ETB, right? Some energy. Who needs these? I mean, you get so many energies as you're getting opening packs and stuff that you just have an abundance of energy cards. I don't need any of these. The aesthetic. Yeah, I know, right? You got to commit to it for the aesthetic. A Riolu coin, very cool. So I will definitely use this in the deck. I'll put it in my deck box. And the Riolu. Oh, look at him. He's so cute. And he's on top of the radio tower, right? So all of these are based off of the Pokemon ZA. So I'm guessing this is a tower in Lumio City. Very cutie. All right, Ghosty, here are the dice. So you get the damage counter dice, and this bigger dice, which a lot of people use as a, instead of a coin flip, they'll roll a die. So odds or evens. I actually don't like rolling a die I like flipping a coin. I feel it feels more visceral for me. You got a theory about the colors? Ooh, let's hear it. The colors of the dice. I mean, yeah, tell me your theory. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Mega Evolution booster packs. I think they include the dice with the color of the next expansion. Oh, interesting. I would need to do some research to like test that theory to see how it lines up. But I guess that you've been tracking this, right? So you've got some logic behind your theory. So Mega Evolution is the start of what's called an era in Pokemon trading card games. So there's the Pokemon, at least in the modern sets, have been described as being in eras. So we had just concluded the Scarlet Violet era, which had several expansion sets within that era. And the start of the new one was Mega Evolution, which coincides usually around the biggest game at the time. So it included the Pokemon ZA, Legend ZA. A little. I do think some missed the logic though, so I could totally be making it up. Well, I mean, any reason's as good as any, I think. So we'll open up the promo cards first. And you get a code card that you can scan in Pokemon TCG Live, and it'll give you an ETB in the game, with including the sleeves and deck box for it too, and the coin. So look at that Riolu. Ooh, that's such a cool card. It's very colorful. Let me go ahead and put a sleeve on it and get this bad boy in a top loader. Get in there. Very cool. Very, very cool. And it also comes with a couple of these little divider cards that you can use in your bulk boxes and whatnot. They're really cool. They're useful to kind of separate your decks and stuff. All right, here we go. What should we open first? A Mega Evolution or a Mega Evolution? What do you say? Let's go with a Mega Evolution. Now, this doesn't happen every time, but sometimes when I open ETBs, I'll notice where a couple of packs will have the exact same cards in it as the pack before it. Yes, same thought. Still a Mega Evolution. Yeah. That's probably a good bet, at least to start it off. All right, do we get some hype for some first pack magic? Wish me luck, gang. Here we go. First pack of the night. We have Lightning Energy, a Vulpix, Bulbasaur. So yeah, the Mega Evolution era brought back Mega Evolution Pokemon, which hadn't been in play in the TCG set for quite some time. So they brought it back with the game, coinciding with the game bringing back the Mega Evolution mechanic. Pokemon Center Lady. I actually think this is a really underrated and underused supporter card. Heals 60 damage from one of your Pokemon, and it recovers from all special conditions. I think it's a really good one. Riolu, there we go. Lieutenant Surge's Bargain. So when this card came out, I thought it was going to be used more. No, but I've never seen anybody run this in a deck, but it's got a cool mechanic. Ask your opponent if each player may take a prize card. If yes, each player takes a prize card. If no, you draw 4 cards. So you look at your opponent and say, hey, bargain here. You want to each take a prize card? And if they refuse, then you get to draw 4 cards from your deck. What I would love to see is somebody use this when you're tied 1-1 prize card and and intentionally draw the game like that. Turn it into a draw. Ooh, Ninetales. I love Ninetales. Supernatural Shapeshifter. Discard the top card from your deck, and if that card is a supporter card, use the effect of that card as the effect of this attack. Okay. Interesting. Spiritomb. Ooh, we have the Magnezone Reverse Hollow. Yeah, it's a win-win. Inteleon. So Inteleon was in the pre-release kits for Mega Evolution, because I know I had that Inteleon deck, and it had a cool mechanic. So bring down. Choose a Pokemon in play, yours or your opponent's, that has the least HP remaining, except for this Pokemon, and it is knocked out. So if you have enough damage on the board, you can get free knockouts with the Inteleon. Hey, your son. And Meganium, yay! Ooh, Ghost, I have retooled my Mega Venusaur deck, and it's actually pretty good now, and I use the Meganium and the Mega Meganium in it too. And your daughter, the whole family. Alrighty. Next, let's do another Mega Evolution. So much waste when it comes to ripping Pokemon packs. You gotta recycle. And I do think even the cards are recyclable. So like, you know, any unwanted bulk cards or energy cards, you could potentially just recycle them. Tangela. And yes, it's pronounced Tangela, like Angela, but with a T in front of it. Sandshrew. Oh, I love the design on this card. I don't know, just the background looks really cool. It's a little cutesy, but I did find a little chibi trainer dress-up game that has some champion Pokemon. Ooh, yay. Put it in the Discord on the Pokemon channel. Litleo. Clauncher. Iron Defender. During your opponent's next turn, all of your metal Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. Grumpig. Energized Steps. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may use this ability. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck and attach any number of basic energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. Okay. Pyroar. Intimidating Fang. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, attacks used by your opponent's active Pokemon do 30 less damage. Ooh, Switch. Very useful reverse holo card. Switch is one of those cards that usually remains legal for the duration. This is a card that has been in place since the very beginning of Pokemon trading card game in the 90s, and they just keep bringing it and reprinting it back. And technically, you can use any earlier iterations of those cards as long as they've been reprinted and have the same effect. Oh, let's go! We got an Executor Illustrated Rare. Look at that. Super cool. Ooh, it's very colorful. Trying to like let it catch the light so you can see the full art of it. Very pretty. And a Clawitzer or Clawitzer. I can't tell what's going on in this picture. Hell yeah. So we already got a hit on our second pack. What is this card worth? Is it worth anything, Ghost? What do you think? Some of these top loaders are kind of dirty. I'm like clean them off. There you go. That helped a little bit. Buff them out. They're all smudged. Executor. So 2 Illustrated Rare cards so far in this ETB. Well, one of them is the promo, so I guess that still counts, right? I'll drink to that. Going for $6.73. Let's go. All right. The next Mega Evolution pack. This one's got a Gardevoir on the front. Yeah, I remember when they were first announcing the new Mega Evolution era, I was like, man, these Mega Evolution Pokemon are going to break the game. And they did and they didn't. So Mega Evolution these cards are particularly powerful, right? These Pokemon usually have really beefy HP and they can do some crazy damage, or they have some really, really good abilities. But if your opponent knocks out a Mega Evolution card, they take 3 prize cards instead of 2 for a normal EX. So it is a bit of a trade-off. Obviously, chances are higher here because there's plenty of packs, but I've got a good feeling about this ETB. Me too. I feel it too, Ghosty. I think just because, you know, it's been a really stressful couple of weeks with work leading up to it, I'm feeling very positive. I have good positivity in the air. Now that I've, you know, completed that project, I'm ready to relax and burn off some steam and to reward ourselves with some Pokemon. Oh, and guess what? So I ordered this League Battle deck, right? They sent me 2 of them instead of 1. I even went back and looked. I'm like, did I order 2? No, I only ordered 1, but they sent me 2. So, okay, freebie. I'll take it. True, just opening packs gives the good brain juice. I don't know if I've ever seen that Nuzleaf before. Nuzleaf! Is that where the phrase Nuzlocke comes from? Mega Signal. Oh, what is this? I don't like when songs have words. I just want instrumentals, damn it. There we go. Fixed it. So Mega Signal. This is a really useful card. Search your deck for a Mega Evolution Pokemon EX, reveal it and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So it's basically like a Ultra Ball or a, you know, Pokepad, but to specifically get a Mega Evolution Pokemon. Celebi! Oh man, I had just ordered some of these because I needed them for my Venusaur deck. Izzy said I would be perfect for a Nuzlocke run. I'm stressed just thinking about it. Dude, yeah. You know, at first I was like, what's so hard about Nuzlocke? But then in playing this most recent Pokemon Indigo, I die a lot in it. And one of the stipulations of Nuzlocke is whenever a Pokemon dies, it gets deleted from your inventory. You lose that Pokemon forever. So I don't know if I could do that. And what's cool about that fan game is there's a Nuzlocke mode built into it, so you can just activate it and it'll do it for you. It'll keep track of it for you. The Nuzlocke name came from a Nuzleaf depicted with the face of John Locke from the series Lost, who was portrayed by actor Terry O'Quinn. That's so random. That is so freaking random of a thing. This Celebi. Okay, so Ghost, you may want to think about including this Celebi in your Leaf deck, your Teal Mask Ogerpon and Apple deck. So look at his first attack. Search your deck for up to 3 in any combination of Leaf Pokemon and Stadium cards. Reveal them and put them into your hand and shuffle your deck. So very, very useful to help get up, set up very quickly. Now, they are intended to die in that front seat, but you get to set up your next turn pretty easily, meaning you can get 2 Teal Mask Ogerpons, or let's say 1 Meganium, 1 Teal Mask Ogerpon, and the growing tree, what's it called? Tree of Vitality or whatever, that allows you to evolve. Or you can just get every line of a Meganium and then evolve them if you already have the tree in hand. So it can be very, very useful to help you get set up really quickly. Honestly, it could be great for Festival Lead. Oh yeah, Festival Lead deck. Festival Lead deck is awesome. I think it's a really, really good single prize card, prize deck. The only thing that it struggles against is Dragapult, which unfortunately accounts for 43% of the meta right now. But unless if you're not playing in a competitive meta setting, you can do really well with Festival Leads deck. Stonejourner. Ooh, Litleo Reverse Hollow. Marshadow. Ooh, it's a fighting Marshadow. Cool. Shadowy Sidekick, 60 damage. If your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by damage from this attack, during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from and effects done to this Pokemon. Hey, that's pretty good. Oh, we got another hit, gang. Looks like it's an EX card. Maybe it's a Mega Evolution. Let's see, let's get some suspense here. Mega Kangaskhan EX. Very, very useful card. So this is a great card to slot into a lot of different decks because of it being a colorless Pokemon. Super handy. Its ability, though, Run Errand. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may use this ability, draw 2 cards. You can't use more than one Run Errand each turn. So you just get to draw 2 cards if he's in the front seat. And his attack, Rapid Fire Combo, does a base of 200 damage. Flip a coin until you get tails. This attack does 50 more damage for each heads. So you could potentially do some huge damage with this Pokemon. And with 300 HP, he's pretty beefy too. Or I guess she's pretty beefy. Not a bad card and can be used as a secondary kind of pivot attacker. Most people use him as a draw mechanic, but it with 200 base damage and potentially more, you could pivot to it to do some really big damage. The only drawback is the high attack cost of it and the high retreat cost of it. So it not very economic choice, but could be useful if you run out of options with your main attacker. So I figured out what was going on with my stream last time where the bitrate was just going crazy. So it was caused by doing the dual stream to Twitch and the dual format streaming to Twitch, which was a bug inherent in the Streamlabs software that I used to stream. And I submitted a ticket to the help forum or whatever, on Reddit, and we'll see what they say. But I think I'm going to have to wait until the next update for the software before I can utilize that feature again. So by disabling it, my stream is back down to normal bitrate. And it's probably streaming, it's probably going pretty smoothly, right? On your end, you probably can see it. All right, next pack, we have another Mega Evolution. Looks good. All right, great. That's what I like to see. You know, I have not opened a whole lot of Mega Evolution, come to think of it. Tinkatink! Why does Tinkatink always look so, like, scared and worried? I don't get it. Is it because they're not tough? Like the Tinkatuff? Nick it. She is scared. Miltank. Miltank is weird. I don't really like Miltank. I'm not a big fan of the Miltank. It's her character. Oh, okay. So they're scared and then they get the big hammer and then they're tough. Curlia. Tinkaton. There's Tinkaton right there. She goes from being a wee scared little guy to being a hammer-wielding badass. Acerola's Mischief. Okay, so this is actually a pretty decent card for late game catch-up. You can use this card only if your opponent has 2 or fewer prize cards remaining. Choose one of your Pokemon in play. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks done to that Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon EX. So you can basically protect one of your Pokemon from getting knocked out. Speaking of whom? Kadabra. The Alakazam deck is a pretty good deck in the meta. Single prizer can do some huge damage and has a lot of draw mechanic too. Spoink! Reverse Hollow. Nate loves that deck, the Alakazam one. Yeah, I have a deck where I merged Alakazam and Dragapult, and it's pretty cool. It also uses the Togepi, Togekiss, and Togetic line. Because of the Togekiss, is it Togekiss's ability that whenever you knock out your opponent's active Pokemon, you flip a coin. If heads, you draw an extra prize card. Heliolisk and Lunatone. Hey, Lunatone! Great, I need this for my Lucario deck. I'm actually going to set this one aside because I may need it. I don't know how many Lunatones come in the deck, but we'll see. I like the art on this Heliolisk. It looks very cartoony, doesn't he? Looks like a cartoon. Devilish. Very cute, to be honest. I agree. Very cute. He's like one of those, this is like a, what are they called? Like a gecko, then they run across water. Like a specific kind of gecko, right? Like that's what he's modeled after. Says he's a generator Pokemon on his description. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? And you look at the slow-mo videos of them running and they're just like kicking their legs as they're running across the water. And there's the Tinkatuff. Haphazard Hammer. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may use this ability, flip a coin. If heads, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Hey, that's kind of cool. It's like a free hammer. What's it called? The not the enhanced hammer, the other hammer. Well, it just makes sense because they have a hammer. Basilisk Lizards. There you go. That's what I'm thinking of. Tyrogue. Pow pow punching. Use flip a coin until you get heads. This attack does 30 more damage for each heads. Hey, that's kind of cool. And it's a free energy cost. But I think frilled neck lizards are closer to Heliolisk's design. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. I don't know a lot about lizard anatomy. Sobble. Electrike. Forest of Vitality. Very, very, very useful card, especially in grass decks. So, each player's Pokemon can evolve. Each player's Leaf Pokemon can evolve into Leaf Pokemon during the turn they play those Pokemon, except during their first turn. Meaning that you can go from a basic Pokemon all the way to a stage 2 Pokemon in one turn, including when you just put that Pokemon into play, with the exception of your very first turn of the game. Volcanion. Shiftry. Ooh, we got the Tinkatuff Reverse Hollow. Shedinja. Fragile Husk. If this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon EX, your Pokemon can't take any prize cards for it. Oh, that's pretty cool. Good against EX Pokemon. Damage beat. This attack does 20 damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. Ooh, Steelix. I love Steelix. Steelix is such a cool Pokemon. But still, underpowered. We need a stage 3 for Onix. I mean, a stage 2 for Onix. Aw, Sobble, little baby, yeah. Or, hear me out. Baby Onix. Oh, baby. Oh, it's like a little worm. A little rock worm. Or maybe like Onix that can evolve into different elemental types. So like, you know, you use the steel coat to evolve the Onix into a Steelix, but like what if there was like, I don't know, like a fire Onix or a grass Onix. Like Evolution Onix, there you go. The Onix Lucians. Ghost Onix is a tombstone. Yeah, you just call him Tombstone. Mossy Onix. All right, here we go. Pack number 6. Right? 6, 7, yes. Pack number 6. Wow, we've already gone through 6. And it's only been an hour. It's okay, we're gonna build a deck for the second part of the stream. Seeing potential, yes, yes, yes. Copyright it. All right, here we go. Starting with the Fire Energy. Drizzle. Kind of a weird design. I'm not a big fan of this era of Pokemon where like a lot of the designs of the Pokemon are very abstract-y. And they're just shapes. So like it seems like they were designed not by a character designer, but by a graphic designer. So there's like circles and triangles and swirls and stuff, and I don't really like them. Scorbunny. Drizzle is very much an odd middle evolution. Yeah. Yungoos. Rare Candy, staple card of the TCG game. In fact, always comes back in a big way and is played in almost every deck. Or at least every deck that has Stage 2 Pokemon. Ninjask. Cast off Shell. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may use this ability. Search your deck for a Shedinja and put it onto your bench. Then shuffle your deck. Oh. So you can evolve You evolve the Nincada straight into the Ninjask, and then you search for a Shedinja and put it straight to your bench without having to evolve it. That's kind of cool. U-turn, 90 damage, switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon, and then damage beat. This attack does 20 damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay. So it's like a hit and run kind of mechanic. Weird progression, but I see the narrative there too. From tiny crying baby to emo with bright ass gloves and super spy assassin. Yeah, it's very James Bondy. Fighting Ganj. Very useful for fighting decks because it allows you to search your deck for a basic fighting energy or a basic fighting Pokemon, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Houndstone. Very cute. Little ghost pup. Shroodle. Reverse Hollow. Bulbasaur. Reverse Hollow. Very nice. And an Alakazam. Does Nate have an Alakazam deck, or is he building one? And the flowers under the tree, I just love that good pup so much. I know, right? He's a very good boy. Just relaxing. Even though he's a ghost, he's a dead pupper. He still enjoys the little things in life. Like sleeping under a tree. Oh, he has one. Okay, cool. He's been using that Pokemon. I haven't played against Nate in a while. I need to play him. I think last time I played him, he used his farts deck. All right, here we go. Baniri. Oh yeah, this was the set that introduced the Mega Lopunny, and it did really, really well for a while, but has since fallen off due to jet energy rotating out of regulation. Butt farts. I think that night he forgot to bring anything but the fart deck. That's funny. Rip jet energy. I know, right? Numel. Krogunk. I don't know why, but I always feel like this Pokemon should be called Go-Krunk, not Krogunk. I don't know why. It's just like that. My brain thinks that that's how it should be read. Oh, I don't know if you noticed this. The black and white TV behind me. So I did something new. I figured out how to hook it up to my computer, so it's actually an extra monitor. So I can just take a window from my desktop, move it over here, and get it playing. I don't know why I never did that before. I was just using an Amazon Fire Stick on it. But this is way better. So I've just got some Pokemon clips just running in a loop on the background. But I can put anything on I want on there. And I am currently working on getting this monitor behind me up and running, which is going to be a duplicate screen of the black and white TV. So I'm working on getting that going too. So it involves a lot of like long cables, HDMI splitters, and some DVI converters, and I can get it working. Theoretically. You're gonna have that one art exhibit with all the TVs. I also have another one of these monitors sitting on top of the shelf. You can't see it. It's just out of sight. But yeah, that could be cool to have it. I mean, I'll just have a whole video wall. Although it'd probably get really, really hot in this room whenever I'm running them all. Which I guess is okay, because it's usually cold in here, so it would warm it up a little bit. Gumshoos. Ugh, I hate this Pokemon. Looks like Donald Trump. Solrock. Definitely one for the set, the new deck I'm working on. Surfing Beach. Once during each player's turn, that player may switch their active water Pokemon with one of their benched water Pokemon. So it's a free retreat. Very useful. Repel. Ooh, I have not seen this one yet. Switch out your opponent's active Pokemon to the bench. Your opponent chooses the new active Pokemon. Oh, so it's kind of like half of a boss's orders, where you gust them back, but they have to choose the new one to bring in, which sometimes may hurt you even more, but I don't know. I can see a world where that may be useful, especially if they don't have a full bench. Ooh, and the Hariyama. I'm getting a lot of cards from the Mega Lucario deck that I'm going to be building here in a little bit. All right, so far just those two hits. We got the Mega Kangaskhan and the Executor Illustrated Rare. This is a very yummy beer. All right, 2 packs left, gang. And then we will start building out this deck. So we've got the Mega Lucario deck, the League Battle deck box, and then we're going to do some augmentations to it to make it a little more competitive in the current state of the meta. Ice Cube. Very strange. Does his head melt? On hot days, these Pokemon press their Ice Cube heads together to pass the time cooling each other down. Oh, that's kind of cute. Yeah, do their heads melt? It does the same kind of mechanic as Mimikyu. Freezing head, but flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. The first attack breaks the ice, but does no damage. Okay. Freezing head, but 20 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. So, I mean, maybe you're talking about a different Ice Cube? Bayleaf. Spearow. Hey, and Spearow never got another evolutionary stage, did they? They need a third one. Fearow, Queero. Hey, we're on to something. Oh, you just mean in the video games. Onyx, there we go. Queero, happy Pride. So, yeah, Onyx. You'd think for such a big, beefy Pokemon, he'd be much stronger, but he has very low HP, and his attacks and retreat costs are massive energy costs. So bind, 30 damage, flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's Pokemon is now paralyzed, which is, not bad. Only 30 damage for 2 energies. And then strength, which is 4 energy cost to do only 100 damage. That's kind of insane. I used to think Ho-Oh was the third evolution of Spearow just because they were in the same episode. It does look very similar. Yeah, I can see that. Because the Fearow has that big kind of billowy stork neck too, and then like the wings. I can see that. Maybe it was intended to be at one point. Centiskorch. Premium Power Pro. Very useful in this Lucario deck. During this turn, attacks used by your fighting Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So you just do that to power up your attacks. Tangrowth. Absorb 30 HP, 30 damage, heal 30 damage from this Pokemon, and Pumped Up Whip, 120 damage. If this Pokemon has at least 2 extra energies attached, in addition to this attack's cost, this attack does 140 more damage. So, with 3 leaf energies attached to this Pokemon, and a Meganium in play, you can do 260 damage for a stage 1 Pokemon. That's not bad. That's pretty commendable. All those other kids with a pumped up whip. Another Clauncher, reverse holo. Krogunk, reverse holo. Oh, and we got an EX. Another hit, gang. Woo, let's go. Ready for it? It looks like it might be a Mega Evolution. Mega Abomasnow EX. Let's go. I want this Pokemon to work. It seems like it's just too big of an investment. Hammerlanche. 2 energies. Discard the top 6 cards from your deck, and this attack does 100 damage for each basic water energy card that you discarded in this way. So that's... if you have a lot of energy, you can do a lot of damage, potentially. Frost Barrier. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks. 200 damage. It's not bad. It's solid. But as I've learned from playing my Misty's Gyarados deck is relying on discarding cards from your deck to do damage is never a reliable strategy. Abomasnow! What a lad. Oh, no, we got the Mime Jr. The Weedle Mime. No one got the Weedle Mime. Okay. All right, last pack of the ETB. Last pack, gang. What do you think? We're gonna get something good? Let's see. Here we go. Last pack magic. Do we have it? So we've got the energy. Spoink. Spoink. I don't like the design of Spoink. It's kind of weird. Snover. Snover, I hardly know her. Toxicroak. This Pokemon also does 20 damage to itself. Okay. I mean, not bad. It's only 70 damage. Does 20 to itself, but it's only a 1 energy cost, so that's not bad. Delivered. Look at him. Quick gift. If you go first, you can use this attack during your first turn. Search your deck for a card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Hey, that's kind of cool. You can just get any card that you want. Unless you kind of force your opponent to hand disrupt you with either a judge or, you know, something similar. Crawdunt. Magnezone. Iron Defender. During your opponent's next turn, all of your metal Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. Ooh, Hariyama Reverse Holo. So we got the regular holo and the reverse holo. Gumshoe's reverse holo. That's a lot of nuts.
Feed that cat.
Hey, Nate. Show me the hits I'm late. Will do. And we'll feed the cat too. He ran out of the room, but let me go get him. And lastly, we got another Lunatone. So let me go ahead and put these on here, and I will get that cat fed. Thank you, Nate, for that sub. How you doing, bud? I heard you're getting ready for your shoot tomorrow. Or I guess, does it start tomorrow or does it start this weekend? All right, listen up for the crunch, and I gotta shake the treat jar to try to get Archie back in here. Starts Saturday. Loadout is tomorrow. Camera prep day and equipment pull today. Oh my goodness. I'm so bushed. We haven't even started yet. Oof, goodness, dude. Yeah, is it a big shoot, or like how long are you guys shooting for? Is it just a one-day shoot, or is it going to be multi-day kind of thing? All right, the hits that we got tonight. So we'll do the smaller hits first. So we got Reverse, Hollow, Rappel, Surfing Beach, and Switch. Trainer cards. Oh, a 5-day thing. That's still pretty good. Lunatone, Hariyama, Alakazam, Steelix, Meganium, and Clawitzer. Hollow rares. And then reverse hollows, we got the Hariyama, Gumshoes, Clauncher, Krogunk, Strudel, Bulbasaur, Shedinja, Tinkatuff, Heliolisk, Spoink, Inteleon, Magnezone, Litleo, and Marshadow reverse hollows. And the hits of the night were the Mega Abomasnow EX, Mega Kangaskhan EX, which is actually a very, very useful card that can slot into a lot of different decks because of its run errand ability, allowing you to just draw 2 cards if he's in the front seat. Thanks, Obama Snow. Riolu, this was the promo card from the ETB. And the hit that we pulled was the Executor Illustrated Rare card. Very, very cool. Yes, very ooh indeed. So yeah, so not bad from an ETB, you know. Not anything too big hits, but too big hitty. But definitely some decent cards in there for sure, some useful cards. But the real reason that I wanted to open an ETB tonight was for these sleeves, the Mega Lucario sleeves that came with it. And I say that because I just got a Mega Lucario EX League Battle deck. I just got 2 of them. They sent me 2 instead of 1, so I got a free one. So I'll add that to the raffles for Poke Night in the future. Put these to the side. Okay. And I got the cool coin for it. So for this, I have done something where I have pre-set up the deck build in TCG Live. So I'm going to use TCG Live as the guide for me to augment this deck. Now, out of the box, Ghosty will hold my money for raffle. Okay. As out of the box, it's not a bad deck. It's actually pretty useful, and you could probably play it like at a Poke Night and some casual and do okay with it. But I'm gonna be making some changes to it to make it a little bit more competitive against the current metas in play right now. And this is a deck list based from Natalie Miller, who she's a writer for TCG Player and competes very regularly in large Pokemon tournaments. In fact, I think she got top 8 in NAIC. I was rooting for her because I read all her articles and I like her deck builds. But yeah, so we're going to be using her deck list on this, on how to improve the League Battle deck. And I think I have most of the cards for it, so I don't need to order any cards for it. I have most of them, and you're actually not taking too much out of it. So let me pull up TCG Player really quickly. And not TCG Player, sorry, I meant TCG Live. And they did a really cool thing in the last update. They've added a feature that allows you to view your deck. So you can just view it completely like this and go card by card and kind of build it. So it makes it really easy when you're like augmenting decks and stuff or building decks from scratch. You have them in TCG Live. You can view the whole thing at once. You can take a screenshot of it, whatever you need to do to help you build that deck. So let's go ahead and get into this. And this is kind of the process that I do whenever I build decks. So sometimes I build them off of these League Battle decks, but most of the time I'm building them from scratch or whatever. As you know, I'll get the deck list online, test it in TCG Player, make some adjustments, take out things I like, I don't like, and then add things that I do like. And then when I find a good version of it that I'm kind of settling with, then I start building it IRL. I have a little process for the way I do it, and I'll show you guys that here in a sec. So these League Battle decks are really, really great. They're a great product, off the shelf. Typically, you can get them for relatively cheap when they release because they don't get scalped by scalpers, because there are no packs in them. It is just the pre-constructed deck. There are no gambling mechanics on it. There are no SIRs or IRs in them, so they're generally ignored by scalpers, with the exception of the rival battle decks that came out, the Marnie's one and the Stevens one. Those ones, for some reason, they included promo SIR cards in them, which caused those to get scalped like crazy. And everybody bought them up, but not super competitive out of the box. Those were more like level 2 ones. So, you know, they have this like level play level marker on there. There's the basic ones that are level 1. Level 2 are a little bit more complex. They have more usable cards. Level 3 are meant to be competitive decks. In fact, like I said, you could just buy one of these at your local card shop and use it in a tournament that same day. I don't know how well you would do, because most people are using like really tailored decks, but you probably could be okay. But yeah, they show you all the cards that are included in this deck, so there are no gambling mechanics involved, and the scalpers stay clear from them. All right. Yeah, and so it comes with pretty much everything that you need for getting into a battle. Now it does give you a deck box, but if you're taking this into a league event, you have to have sleeves on your cards. You're not allowed to not have your card sleeves, because that could be considered a form of marking your cards. So these little decks you probably wouldn't use after this, but what I use is to keep all the dice and stuff inside of them and the coins, and use them for that. One cute little thing is they include these little tips. Oh, sometimes they come with little... Oh, they used to come with play mats, like a little fold-out play mat. You think sleeves are easier to mark than just the cards. I know, but I think it's just because cards can wear and tear, and visible scratches and stuff are easier to recognize, and with sleeves that are opaque, you can't really see them as easily. Yeah, these decks used to come with these little playmats like this that you could use if you didn't have a playmat. But I guess it's just a thing where it shows you the rules of how to use this deck and what's in it, and strategies for it. Oh yeah, so like early game acceleration, draw cards with Lunatone, target your opponent's bench with Hariyama, map out your prizes. So it explains how the deck kind of works. But I don't need that. You get the code card too that you can take, scan it in Pokemon TCG Live, and it will give you this deck in the game. Alright, so first let's open this up and get our big cards out. So, this deck calls for 3 Mega Lucarios. We've got 3 of them right here, so we don't need to change anything about these. We're keeping these. The ace spec of choice in this deck build is a secret box, so I don't need to switch this one out. But the Fezandipiti and the Blood Moon Ursaluna, while very useful tech cards and used in a lot of different decks, I don't think they have a place in this one. And Natalie Miller's deck does not use them. So I'm going to be removing these 2 from them, but that doesn't mean that they won't find a home in another deck somewhere. Fezandipiti EX is a really great card for its flip the script ability. Once during your turn, if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you may draw 3 cards. So, very good, like, kind of bounce back mechanic. And Blood Moon Ursaluna, while he had more prevalence in previous kind of metas, you don't really see him too much in the current meta, but his ability is great. Blood Moon used by this Pokemon costs 1 colorless less for each prize card your opponent has taken. So his attack normally would cost 5 energies to use to do 240 damage. But if your opponent has taken many prize cards, like is on their last prize card, his attack cost is free. So he's used... Basically, people do not bench the Blood Moon until their opponent has taken several prize cards already and can come in to do some pretty good damage and kind of bat cleanup. The problem is you only really get 1 attack off for him because it does 240 damage, and then during your next turn this Pokemon cannot attack, so you'd have to remove him to your bench in order to have him attack again. And he has 260 HP, which for an EX Pokemon is not bad. But because he's so late game focused, that's actually kind of squishy. And your opponent is probably getting some big knockouts and would more than likely be able to one-shot KO an Ursaluna EX. So because of that, he's kind of fallen out of usefulness in the current meta. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have a place down the line. He still has some use. But yeah, with Jet Energy rotating out, again, being able to move him from the bench or whatever away off the bench, it's not as easy anymore. Okay. So we also get included in this some poison and burn markers. Condition markers. We've got the coin and some damage dice. So we'll go ahead and include these 2 in our deck build here. I mean, I don't need these dice. I probably won't use this. Okay, but in here we have our deck. And luckily, it should all be organized. Yay. No, it's not organized. So, whenever I'm doing a deck build, the first thing I do is because Pokemon TCG Live will organize your cards from your deck automatically, with Pokemon first, then and it groups it by evolutionary line, then the item cards come next, and then the supporter cards, and lastly the energies. That's how I'm going to kind of organize these, to sort these. So I'm going to put all my energies aside. Sorting gives you good brain juice. Yes, it is one of your favorite things to do. Pokemon, then I do items and stadiums, and then supporters. So this is how I organize cards that I'm going to use for a deck. So let me just start organizing these like this. Because they don't have sleeves, they're kind of slippery here. All right. So we got them all separated. And we will go in order to build this deck. Let me just clean this up a little bit. So I kind of forgot about Pokemon Indigo. You did. I haven't played it since we last all played together. Actually, that's not true. I played a little bit. But Izzy's already like beaten the game. we need to play with him again. And I'm making up for lost time as you're making your deck. Heck yeah, dude. Keep me filled in on any good finds that you find. Okay. So first off, we need 2 Lunatones. So there's 1, and luckily, I pulled the Lunatone. So we're gonna use the hollow one. In fact, let me get all of the cards that I pulled that could be used in this deck and set them aside just in case I want to slot them in. Hariyama, Lunatone. Yeah, so we have hollow ones that we can put in here. Great. Actually, his very tall, get down there. I feel like it may... well, this is a little bit... He is tall. Actually, he and I are the same height. And then Molly and Zach are the same height, which is kind of funny. I feel like it took me a year to play through Blue back in the day. I know, dude. Same thing. Okay, so we need 2 Lunatone. And the deck already came with a couple of Lunatone, but I'm going to substitute them for the hollow ones just because the hollow ones are cooler. Any chance to bling out your deck, you should take. So we're going to take these ones out, set them aside. 2 Lunatone. And the way I do it is I just start ordering them into the deck box that I'm going to store them in. All right, 2 Lunatone. Then next is 2 Mukahitas, or Makuhitas. Cute couple friend goals. You don't think you ever finished yellow? Really? I've beaten red, blue, yellow, fire red, and then... of course, Scarlet, Violet. Although I didn't finish the second expansion for Violet. I should play that again. I have ZA, but I have not really started it yet. I need to play that too. Makuhita. So this is... I need 2 Makuhitas, so I'm going to take 1 out. 2 Makuhitas go into the deck box. Then 2 Hariyamas, or as I call them, Harry Mamas. And what do you know? We pulled a hollow and a reverse hollow tonight that we're going to incorporate into the deck. So that's going to be cool. I'll pull the other ones out. 2 Hariyamas going into the deck. Okay, next we have 3 Riolos is what we need. And what do you know? We've got 3 right here. 3 Riolos in the deck. Next are 3 of the Mega Lucario EXs, and this one came out of the box with 3, so I don't need any extras. They go straight in. Next, 2 Solroks. The deck came with 2 Solroks, so they will go in. And I end up with an extra Riolu, which I don't need, and we'll set it aside. Alright, so that completes our Pokemon for the first part of this deck. So to recap, that is 2 Lunatone, 2 Makuhitas, 2 Harry Mamas, 3 Riolu, 3 Mega Lucario, 2 Solrock. So a very straightforward kind of deck this one is. Alright, next we move on to the item cards, starting with 4 Fighting Gongs. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This pre-made deck came with all 4 of them. All that we need, we'll put them in. Now I'll go through later, and if I have like holographic or reverse holo versions of the item and supporter cards. I'll slot those in. But for now, we're just going to work on just getting the deck built, and then I'll go and improve it later with the shinies, bling it out a little bit. 2 Night Stretchers. There's 2. Yep, came with 2. That's all we need. 2 Night Stretchers. Going in, Night Stretchers are great because they allow you to pull either a basic energy or a Pokemon from your discard pile and put it into your hand. Now here's where some of the big changes come. So since this deck released, or since it was being printed, there have been a few sets that have come out since, and one of those sets being the sets that included Pokepad. So Pokepad is now a standard within the most meta decks. There's not a deck list that you'll find that does not include Pokepads, because it's such a useful card for searching out Pokemon. Search your deck for a Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. So rule box Pokemon are any Pokemon that have, like EX. They'll have a rule set, and I'll show you what those look like. So for this one, the Mega Lucario, down here at the bottom is the rule box. Mega Evolution EX rule. So that's called a rule box. Now, it also says on the card, including Pokemon V, etc., although there are no Pokemon V currently in standard play, so I don't know why they say that, but I guess it would count for expanded play too. Alright, so 4 Pokepads. These go in. During this last rotation, we lost a very, very useful card, Nest Ball, that allowed you to get a any basic Pokemon. This kind of is better than that, because not only can you get a basic Pokemon, but you can also get a evolution Pokemon as long as it doesn't have a rule box. A Nest Ball you cannot get evolution Pokemon with. Pour one out for the Nest Ball. I know, right? I actually think the Pokepads are better, or at least more useful. All right, next we need Premium Power Pros. Powerades, as I call them. 1, 2, 3. Triple Ps. So we have 4 Triple Ps in this. Very useful card for fighting decks. Once during your turn, let me focus that camera a little bit. It's a lot of focus. Once during your turn, attacks used by your fighting Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So you can stack that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That is an extra 120 damage you can do with your attack. Controversial opinion, I could go for a Powerade right now. You know, I always preferred Gatorade's taste over Powerade. I was never a Powerade kind of guy. Okay, next we have the Ace Spec, which is the secret box. Very, very good Ace Spec. You can use this card only if you discard 3 other cards from your hand. Search your deck for an item card, a Pokemon tool, a supporter card, and a stadium card. Reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Very, very useful to get everything that you need to get set up. So if you draw with this in your hand from the opening hand, you basically can get anything that you need to get set up. So that by your second turn, you are already attacking with your Mega Lucario. That goes in. All right, next we have 1 Switch card. And it came with 1. There we go. Switch. Goes right in. Now, Ultra Balls. We need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, it came with almost everything we need for this list. 1, 2, 3, 4 Ultra Balls. Ultra Balls are great. You discard 2 cards, and you get to get any Pokemon from your deck. So in a deck like this, where the Mega Lucario allows you, his first attack allows you to do 130 damage and to get up to 3 basic fighting energy cards from your discard pile and attach them to your benched Pokemon in any way that you like, you can use energies that you may have in hand, discard them with the Ultra Ball to get any Pokemon that you want, and then retrieve them back with the Mega Lucario's attack. All right, next we have Gravity Mountain. 2 of them came with it in the deck. Gravity Mountain is really good. Each stage 2 Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponents, get minus 30 HP. That just helps kind of bring the max HP down from your opponent who may be a stage 2 Pokemon to help with the math of doing that damage. Because one thing about the Mega Lucario deck is it may struggle sometimes with doing enough damage to some of the big beefy megas of the format. And a lot of people, rather than running Secret Box, will run it with the maximum belt, which adds another 50 damage. I can see a case for either or, but the Gravity Mountain sometimes helps to balance out that math a little bit. Hey, Nate, you got the Xatu. Let's go. Yeah, the Solrock Lunatone combo is great. All right, next we have... Oh, it moves on to supporters before tools. All right, so I need a Black Belts Fighting. Do I have a Black Belts Fighting? Oh, no, I need to find one. Okay, so I actually have all of my supporter cards sorted in a box. Let me get my box. So I have one of these bulk boxes, and I split it up by, we've got stadiums and energies on this side, tools, items, and then supporters. So when I'm deck building, I just come here, grab the ones I need, and then use them. So I'm looking for Black Belts Training, so it's going to be on the supporter side. And I do have all my hollow ones in the front too, so I'm going to grab the hollow, see if I have a hollow one of a Black Belts Fighting, and I think I do. I feel like I've pulled one before. So I'm looking for a Black Belts Fighting. Black Belts Training, here we go. Ooh, I have two versions. Let's go with this one. This one looks cooler. Takes notes. Yeah, this is how I organize all my bulk. But it makes when I do deck building, it makes it a lot easier if you have all these things sorted like this. Now, Pokemon, for a while, I was sorting them all by Pokédex number and putting them into bulk boxes, but I have not had a chance to sort through all my bulk Pokemon, and now I'm just thumbing through them and just normally looking for them. Black Belt, interesting. Yes, so the Black Belts Training. Not a bad card. So it's a supporter card that also helps with doing extra damage for the Lucario. During this turn, attacks used by your Pokemon do 40 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX before applying weakness and resistance. So let's say you had 4 of the Powerades, so 120 damage, and you play a Black Belts Training, which takes it up to 160 damage on top of whatever you're going to do damage from your attack. So you can do some big damage, especially with the Mega Lucario. So that would be 430 damage you could do with his Mega Brave attack if you stacked all of those conditions, which is enough to knock out anything in the format currently. All right, so we got the Black Belts Training. Next, Boss's Orders. We need 2 of those. This deck came with 2. Let's go. Yeah, pretty handy. The only drawback is that it's a supporter card, so you have to commit your supporter play to that. And then, okay, 2 bosses. Now we're adding in 2 judges. That is one thing that Judge had not been legal at the time when they started printing these, but now has since come back into legality. So Judge is the new Iono. Each player shuffles their hand into their deck and draws 4 cards. So we're going to put 2 judges in there for some hand disruption. Next, for Lily's Determinations. Now this deck came with 4 of them. Lily's Determination is probably the single most useful supporter card in the current format because of its effect. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 6 cards. If you have exactly 6 prize cards remaining, draw 8 cards instead. So this can help you get set up if because you at the beginning of the game because you could potentially draw 8 cards off of it. Now, the odds though of you redrawing some of the cards that you already had in your hand, I feel like it happens to me more than I would like to admit, because you know, you'll say, all right, I'm the lilies and pray, right? So you shuffle your hand in, hoping to get something good, and then if you ending up with the same cards that you had before, sometimes happens, and it's just like, fuck. It happens. At least Iono, rather than shuffling your cards into your deck, you shuffled them and put them at the bottom of your deck, so you would never redraw those same cards. Lilies is not like that. You're just drawing fresh. All right, Lilies, 4 of them goes in. Next, we have 1 air balloon. So the deck came with 2. We're going to remove 1, put the air balloon in the deck. All right, now comes the special energy. And unfortunately, this deck calls for rocky energy, of which I only have 1. So we're going to add the rocky energy. Oh, you know what? Let me check. All I have is a 1. So, I actually printed out some proxies, and this is what I do for when I don't have cards, is I print these proxies. Can bring someone's side. Oh yes, that would be great if you have any to spare. So I need 3 extras for this one, so I'm cutting out some proxies just so I have them in the deck that I can play. And now I don't know, every card store has different rule sets, but some will allow you to use proxies in casual play. Definitely you can't use proxies in an actual league event like a league challenge or a league cup, where you have to, you know, win tournament points or challenge points or whatever. But for the casual nights at your local Pokemon League, most likely they will allow you to have proxies, with sometimes the stipulation being they have to actually be printed out. You can't just like write on the card or draw a card and say, yeah, this is my proxy. Punchy energy, exactly. Now this energy is actually really freaking good and goes well in this deck, and I'll show you why here in a second once I cut these out. But yeah, Ghost, if you have any of these, I'll gladly take them off your hands. Are there any cards that you need? I'll trade you. Yes, please take them. Will do. I have all the other types of energies, but not these ones. Like I said, I haven't opened a lot of Mega Evolution base set. If you're still game to trade that Pentra... Oh, yes. It was the baby Petrant, right? It wasn't the EX one? This one, right? Final chain. If this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from your attack from your opponent's Pokemon, search your deck for a card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Mochi Rush, 20 damage. During your next turn, this Pokemon's Mochi Rush attack does 50 more damage. That is the one. Alright, I'm setting it aside for you. I'll trade you for some Rocky energy. Okay, so the Rocky energy, what's so special about it is, as long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides fighting energy. Prevent all effects of attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to this fighting Pokemon this card is attached to. So, existing effects are not removed, damage is not an effect. But what it does block is any new conditions. So poison, burn, confusion, it blocks that. It also blocks the Dragapult's Phantom Dive of placing damage counters on a benched Pokemon. So if you have it on your bench, the Dragapult cannot place damage counters on there, and it negates the effect of Alakazam's attack. So Alakazam's attack allows you to place damage counters onto your opponent's active Pokemon equal to the number of cards in their hand times 2. So you can do tons of damage with that, but it is not doing damage. It is placing damage counters as an effect of an attack. So because of that, the Rocky Energy will negate that. Excuse what breaks Alakazam deck? Yes. So the strongest counters to an Alakazam deck are Mist Energy, which is like a Rocky Energy, but just for any Pokemon. It prevents effects of attacks. And the Rocky Energy, of course. There is the Water Special Energy that I also I think that maybe prevents effects. No, it just prevents conditions. The Articuno, Team Rocket's Articuno. I don't know if I have one here. I can show you. Team Rocket's Articuno prevents effects of attack to your basic Team Rocket's Pokemon, including itself. And I actually shut down a guy at a League Challenge with my Crustle deck, and I didn't even put my Crustle into play. I just used my Team Rocket's Articuno, and he had no way of doing any damage to my Articuno, and I just slowly did 60 damage each turn to his Alakazams until he decked out. I forced him into a deck out and won that game. So be careful for that. You gotta look out for that. Okay, so the other cards that we have removed are the 3 Iris's Fighting Spirits and the Surfer. But other than that, I mean, we removed a handful of cards. Some of them were because I had holographic shiny versions of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only removed 7 cards. Well, maybe, and then energies, a couple of energies. I've only removed 10 cards from this deck. That's not bad. So straight out of the box, this thing is pretty competitive. All right, so the way that I do the sleeving for proxies is I'll just take a regular energy card, put it in a sleeve, and then slide this in front of it so it has the same feel of a card, but it just has my proxy in it. There we go. I'm gonna put these in there, and then I will start assembling the deck. Now, because I'm going to be using the ETB sleeves, I'm going to be double sleeving these cards with the Dragon Shield clear outer cards. And this is something I love doing whenever I use art sleeves, which allows me to, you know, use the art sleeves, which are generally pretty shitty. Like they have cool designs, right? And they look cool, but using them in play, they get stuck and snagged really easily. They clump together. They do not shuffle well, and you just end up destroying them after like 2 or 3 games of using them. But what I like doing is putting the Dragon Shield outer sleeves over them. I need to trim this one a little bit so that I can see the art cards, the art sleeves on them, but still have the smooth shuffling of a Dragon Shield card sleeve. Got to shuffle wisely with, I know, right? You have to be very deliberate with them. Although I recently got some Dragon Shield sleeves that were the black matte ones, and they weren't good, dude. Like, they snagged really well. Not really well, but really frequently, and I kept like snagging them, and it wasn't a smooth shuffle. And I'm like, what the hell? These are supposed to be good. And then I read up that like some of the matte ones are for lack of a better word, like defective, and have just been inconsistent in their printings or their manufacturing. So I switched and got a set of Katana sleeves, which are around the same price at our local card shop. And boy, those are the smoothest shuffling sleeves I have ever used. I am convinced that these are the best sleeves so far, but they don't have as many different colors. So if you're going to buy them at our local store. They're actually like $10 cheaper than they are online on Amazon. Like Amazon sells them for $25. Our local store sells them for $15. But they are fucking smooth. They're buttery smooth. Almost slippery. Okay. Oh yeah. Also, I need 10 energy cards for this deck, but 10 regular energies. I'm not going to use these ones. I actually have some special ones that I have exactly 10 of. Okay, so I ordered these in bulk. They're from the Pokemon Classics collection, which was a box set, and it's this big it's like this black and white box that comes with a bunch of reprints of old cards with special hollow pattern variants. The whole thing was like $200 when it came out. But it came with like 3 little decks, and it had some old cards, vintage cards in it to show like kind of what the game was like back then. But all of the cards were holographic, including the energies. And they have the classic design on them. So I just thought they were so fucking cool. I just bought a whole bunch of them. And these are what I'm going to put in the deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh shit, I needed 10. Why did I only grab 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 2 more. All right, 9, 10. Let me know if you need more. I have some ones. I got. Oh, you got some when you were a kiddo, huh? For some reason, though. Well. They had reprints of all the basic energy types that were around in the early days of Pokemon, but that does not include the darkness and steel type energies, which weren't around in the original iteration of the game. So the closest thing you can get, I have any here, are just like reprints from the XY Evolution set. These ones are, they do make them in reverse hollow, but for some reason, the steel type and the darkness type ones are so fucking expensive. They're like $6 a card for an energy card, whereas like these ones were like $1 a piece. So when you buy them in bulk, it's worth it. But yeah, so I just got some regular non-hollow ones, but with the classic design of the darkness and the steel type energy. I wish I had them in reverse hollow, but it's kind of pricey. Honestly, I let myself ease up on double or triple sleeving. I usually just go with a related color, or more often I use my Pokemon brand sleeves and try to fix my shuffling. Fair. Fair. All right. Now, the other cards, though, from the Classic Collection are not tournament legal, so you cannot use them in tournaments. And they even say, it says it printed on the card, you cannot use this for tournament play. The energies do not say that, so I am embracing them. But they look so cool, and the foil pattern is unique to just these, that product. So it's got like a star pattern, but also like a digital speckle in it too. I don't know how well you can read that on screen, but yeah, very cool foil pattern. Embrace the fancy bitches. Yep. Okay, so now comes the process of just doing my preliminary sleeving. So the way that I like to do it is I'll put my little box in the middle, got my deck in one side and my sleeves on the other, and we just sleeve. You want to stare at them on Saturday? I'll show you up close. And I got a whole set of all of them, and I've incorporated them into my decks for sure. But one thing I really like about them is they have the yellow borders on them, which when all of my cards in the deck have the gray borders, except for my energies, it makes it really easy to do an energy count, especially on decks where I run like only maybe like 5 or 6 energies in there. So you can do a really quick preliminary deck search whenever you're like searching for, you know, a Pokemon or something or an item or whatever, to count your energy cards and see where you stand. Cool little tip. All right, so I'm gonna put all these in here. And this usually takes a little while. It's just going through and doing it like this. And my camera's in my way, so it makes it a little trickier to do. But making sure that you're putting them all in their sleeves all the way down. And then I'll go back through and double sleeve them with the outer sleeves. But you'll see the benefit of why I do that. Mega Lucario. So this is really the only fighting deck that I have. I try to make an expanded Golem EX and Machamp V-Star or VMAX, and it was in theory it worked, but it was just so slow and clunky that it wasn't really practical. I kind of regret building that deck because I had to buy the Golems and the Machamps and stuff, and it didn't work well. I mean, they were dirt cheap though. Like nobody wants those cards. Always cool to see how each player's process looks. I know, right? Isn't that kind of interesting? I figured, like, you know, since I haven't done Pokemon in a while, it'd be nice to kind of share that with everybody. Yeah, I mean, it's fun exercise in just deck building. The problem was I pulled that expanded deck list off of a website called PokemonCard.io, where anybody can submit like a user-themed deck, a user-created themed deck. That sometimes you'll find some good deck builds, other times you'll find just somebody just made the worst deck possible. Like that I think there was one that you built, Ghost. It was the what's his name? The Mega Man Pokemon. Why can't I think of it? Because we were drawing all of those little guys. Charcadet. The Charcadet deck. And it was just like a way to use all the Charcadets that we have. Because they were everywhere. Yeah, but it just wasn't a very good deck. Like, it was just so clunky and slow, and I mean, technically on paper it worked because it functioned, but you needed a lot of stuff to go right for that deck to be playable. Yeah, it whomped pretty hard. But it's a fun exercise in just learning mechanics of decks and like what works in a deck and what doesn't work in a deck. And I think through that kind of process is how I've gotten better at deck building. Now, I don't think I'm like great at deck building. I think I've identified my play style and what I like to do and my thought process. So I'll find a good deck list and then tailor it to my play style. Like, that's what I've gotten pretty good at doing. That's how we worked out Crabapple. Yeah, exactly. Well, what's really funny is that Crabapple deck is actually part of the meta now. Like, the Hydrapple is like a really, really big, and it won a recent regional event. I think I sent you that deck list, and it's not too far off from what you've built with it. They've just incorporated more modern cards that have come out since you built it, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same concept. You gotta you got working knowledge enough to be able to build. Yeah, I think Anthony's really good at building decks from scratch. I think though sometimes he's overthought decks and kind of like making them complicated, because there's always going to be that factor in Pokemon of luck, and just you gotta hope that you draw into the right cards, and sometimes you can paint yourself into a corner by over teching your deck and making it too complicated rather than being consistent. So sometimes you should try to have things be less techy and more consistent. So it's not about necessarily making an out or a path for every matchup, but making it consistently manageable for most matchups. But yeah, that's something that I've done, especially with my Crustle decks in the past, is I've made the mistake of like, oh, I'm going to slot in this one card for this matchup or this other card for another matchup. But when you don't get that matchup, then you've just got cards that are wasted in your deck that are preventing you from getting your ideal setup or your normal setup for most other matchups. So it's a trade-off that you have to have, and you know, understand that there are going to be situations where you will face auto losses, and that is okay. It is okay to have hard counters to your deck where you're just, oh, as soon as I go up against this guy, I know it's going to lose because I have no answer for it. For instance, my Crustle deck auto loses against Ethan's Typhlosion. There is no way for me to win that matchup. It is so fucking difficult. I mean, unless they completely brick out and for 10 turns in a row and they just let me beat them. You know, Crustle already kind of struggles against single prize decks because it's an incredibly slow deck to build. And its main mechanic is to wall off EX Pokemon. So single prize decks, a la Alakazam or Festival Leads, do not require the use of EX Pokemon. So already Crustle's biggest strength is negated. And now in some of those other single prize decks, I can still tech around and maybe, you know, get lucky. But against the Ethan's Typhlosion, because those Ethan's Typhlosions can hit for weakness, they can one-shot my Crustles automatically, where it would take me at the least 2 turns to get an energized Crustle, and even then I have to 2-shot an Ethan's Typhlosion to get one single prize knockout. There's no way I'm winning that matchup. Almost more fun to watch him play than to play against it. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I mean, I actually recently saw a video that they were talking about like tips for how to be a better deck builder. And those were the kind of things that they were saying, is like, you know, don't overthink your deck. Try to focus on consistency. Don't put too many big attackers, because especially if you have to energize them a lot. Like, start your deck, if you're building a deck from scratch, start with your one main attacker, the thing that you want to build the deck around. You know, in this case, it's a Mega Lucario. And then start adding cards to complement that. Having a good kind of spread of Pokemon to items to supporters to energy is always good too. And realizing that you don't need too much energy. I know it's very tempting to be like, I'm going to throw in 18 energies into this deck just so I always have energy. But do you need that much? Find out what the minimum amount of energy that you need for a deck, and then just add extras for consistency and for cushion. And then now a lot of the metas are using the hammers that remove special energies, or you flip a coin and you remove a basic energy. So know that too, that someone's going to try to remove your energies. So having a couple extras for cushion is always good. All right, so we have our deck. So our deck is built. We've got it all sleeved up in the ETB sleeves, but these things are kind of butt to shuffle with, so I'm not even going to try it. but instead I have some clear outers from Dragon Shield. So I love these things. They make the deck nice and big, which makes it kind of hard to handhold, you know, to palm. But the shuffle is just so smooth on them. You cannot resist it. I need your brain for this poison deck I'm doing. Oh, dude, I have been working on a couple of poison decks. So I made my Team Rockets Nidoking deck, and that one's pretty good. And I've been working on this Dragalge deck that the first iteration I debuted at our last Poke Night, and it did okay. But I've been taking it into the like competitive on TCG Live, and I was just kind of not being very consistent. I was less than 50%, which means it's probably not consistent enough. But I've made some changes to it, and I think it's more consistent now. Oh, you're doing a Nidoking too? My thought is to combine it with the Clodsire EX. Cool. There's this really great YouTuber called Bruce Builds Decks, and they're doing this challenge where every week they have like a spinner wheel, and they spin the wheel, and whatever Pokemon it lands on, they have to build a deck around that Pokemon. And the idea is to eventually, at the end of this series, is to have completed a deck based on every Pokemon. Anyway, so they just did one that was a Team Rockets Nidoking, Nidoqueen deck, and it's kind of cool because the Nidoqueen and the Nidoking play well off of each other. The one that I built is just straight Nidoking and Munkidori, but similar kind of concepts. But yeah, I'll see if I can find that video and send it to you. Use it with a Clodsire EX. Yeah, that Clodsire. I know that you've been trying to make a poison deck work for a while with the Clodsire, huh? But yeah, the Dragalge is so cool though, because you can drop 16 damage counters for poison. Like it is nuts, and it's not too hard to get it up and running. A Crispin, you get both energies that you need, and you're hitting. One thing that's really cool about it is its other attack that allows you to remove all tools and special energy from all of your opponent's Pokemon. And I played against Natalie the other night, who was using her Rotom Gadget Show deck, which allows you to attach multiple tools onto each of your Rotoms. So she had a bench built up with each of her Rotoms, each having 2 tools on it, and I used that attack and just basically discarded, I think, 8 tools off of her entire board. That was devastating. I wasn't disappointed with my last Clodsire deck, but with Dragalge and the new Roxy card, I want to get back into it. Yes, dude. The Roxy's pretty dope too, although I have it in my Dragalge deck, but I never use it. I never get an opportunity to use it, mostly because it's poison enough is enough to not need the Roxy sometimes. But I guess, you know, never say never. There's going to be a situation where I'm going to wish I had it. Plus, Janine and Perilous Jungle are still legal. Yes, that is true. One thing that I like about the Nidoking more than the Dragalge is that the Nidoking still does base damage. So the Nidoking will do 100 damage, which is, you know, enough to knock out most Pokemon. But for like stage 1s and stage 2s, it's not enough. But the poison damage is sometimes enough to get it. And with a poison deck, what you don't want to do is do too much damage so that you knock out your opponent. Because what that does is gives your opponent an opportunity to use something like a Fezandipity EX to flip the script and draw 3 cards. But the verbiage on the Fezandipity stipulates that only if your active Pokemon was knocked out from damage from an attack on your opponent's last turn, or was knocked out during your opponent's last turn. So technically, taking poison damage happens after your opponent's turn during Pokemon Checkup, it would not activate the ability Flip the Script. It also is a good counter to the Treyavard. Is it Treyavard? Is that the ghost tree Pokemon? I forget his name. Is it Treyavard? Trevenant. He's a good revenge Pokemon that if one of your ends Pokemon was knocked out from an attack on your opponent's last turn, that it does an extra like 100 and something damage. It blocks that because if your Pokemon dies from poison damage, that was not from an attack. It was from the poison. So those are really good ways to get around those kind of revenge mechanics and catch-up mechanics. And then with the Nidoking, I also run Binding Mochi in the decks, where if your Pokemon is poisoned, then your attacks do an extra 40 damage. Now, I do run the Janines in there as well, too, so that Janine allows you to attach 2 darkness energies to 2 of your darkness Pokemon, and if you attach it to your active Pokemon, that active Pokemon is now poisoned. So poisoning the Nidoking, who would have a Binding Mochi attached, would add his base damage to 140 damage, plus 8 damage during Pokemon Checkup for poison. And the stadium I run in there is the Perilous Jungle, which does is it Perilous Jungle? It does an extra 20 damage for poison. So in theory, he would do 140 damage base, and then in Pokemon Checkup, the opponent would take an extra 100 damage for poison. So yeah, 240 damage is enough to knock out most Pokemon. Most medium-sized Pokemon. It's not bad. The only problem with the Nidoking is it's a costly attack. So you need a few turns to get him built up, and because he's a stage 2, you have to really hope that your opponent is not knocking you out before you can build him up. Because I don't really have any other backup attackers in that deck. I mean, I have Monkey Dories, but he's not great. So yeah, I do think that the Nidoking does not match up well against Dragapult because of that, being able to be bench sniped by the Phantom Dive attack. But I don't know. I have had some fun with that deck, and it's Nidoking, and Nidoking's fucking cool. It's an OG Pokemon. It's very he's very Giovanni coded, and Giovanni's kind of the man. You know, building decks is kind of there's something kind of calming about it and zen about it. You know, just you kind of get into this little flow state where you're getting the cards in the sleeves and putting them in, and I don't know, it's kind of cathartic. My next Halloween costume, right? I mean, I could totally do Giovanni, although I know Molly would want to do like a couple costume or a group costume, so I don't know if I could get away with doing that. Although if they all did, if I can convince everybody to be Team Rocket Grunts and then I could be Giovanni, that would be cool. Get a little Persian plushie to carry around with me. Just add in Jesse's mom. Oh yeah, Jesse's mom was like a Team Rocket agent too, right? Don't they like hint that like Giovanni is her father? Or could be her father? Jesse's mom has got it going. Like a top agent, yeah. So yeah, the only thing I'm missing from this deck are 3 Rocky energies. That's all I need to complete this deck. The only thing about these Dragon Sleeves is they come in packs of 100, which you only use 60 cards in a Pokemon deck, so you always end up with 40 left over, so you just end up with... You're always ending up with extras, and it's like an odd number. You know, I wish it would come with 120 cards, so it's enough to sleeve 2 decks. Oh, did you just send me a Giovanni thing on Discord? So those were all the leftovers from another deck. Another pack of sleeves, so I have one more that's unopened. Suppose they're more for Magic. That's true. Although I've heard people complaining that sometimes Dragon sleeves don't have exactly 100 in there. They'll be short. And someone told me that the way that they count the sleeves when they in production is by weight. So if the scale's off or something's off, you might get shortchanged sleeve, or you might end up with some extras. Either way, it's not an ideal situation because that could be enough to like, oh shit, I should have bought 2 packs instead of the 1. Almost done in the home stretch. Once you know you get to the energy, you know you're in the home stretch of the deck sleeving. But yeah, I'll give this deck a try on Saturday. I've actually retooled like 3 of my decks, so like I want to play with all of them. But I did the Venusaur, I got the Dragalge, I've got my Crobat one, and my I retooled my Charizard one, made that one legal now, and I actually think it's really good. If they can afford a deck, they can afford to financially ruin you. Exactly right. Yeah, Risky is pissing off the Magic players. Yeah, I've been hearing some mixed things about Dragon Shield lately. I guess their production standards have kind of fallen a bit. There was that set of them that I got that those sleeves were not good. In fact, the Amazon sleeves that I had were better than those. You know, those cheapy ones I got on Amazon, which I know you hate, but I think for just sleeving a lot of decks, they're fine. But those Katana sleeves I got, oh my god, those were so fucking good. Like, literally the best shuffle I've ever... And in fact, I'll show you here in a sec. They're too slippery for your taste. I can see that. They just cut so smooth. I don't know, I love it. Alright, so we're going to do final deck check. So we have everything sleeved. We've got them double sleeved. They will shuffle perfectly. But, you know, the stack gets really big when you have them double sleeved like this. Alright, so we're going to do the check. So 2 Lunatones, check. 2 Lunatones. 2 Makohitas. 1, 2. 2 Harimamas. 2 Harimamas. 3 Riolus. 1, 2, 3. 3 Lucario EXs. 1, 2, 3. Some people use the regular Lucario EX instead of the Mega Lucario, but I don't know. It's an interesting kind of tech. 2 Solrocks. Got him. 4 Fighting Gongs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 Night Stretcher. 1, 2. What the hell is this song?
As you may be aware by now, I've been searching for you for what seems a lifetime.
I hate when there's words on the
State of disorder.
remove from playlist.
Your power has been shifted.
Okay, where did I leave off? Pokepads. 1, 2, 3, 4 Pokepads. Check. 4 Premium Power Pros. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 Secret Box. Check. 1 Switch. Check. 4 Ultra Balls. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check. 2 Gravity Mountains. 1, 2. I might swap out one of these Gravity Mountains for a Team Rocket's Watchtower. Just because the Dunsparce draw engine and the Mega Kangaskhan are used a lot in the metas, and the Team Rocket's Watchtower would negate their abilities, so maybe that's more useful than just doing extra damage. Black Belt's Training, we have one of them. 2 boss's orders. Check, check. 2 judges. Check. 4 Lily. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check. 1 air balloon. 4 rocket energies. 1, 2, 3, 4, including the proxies. And 10 fighting energies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The deck is built, gang. We did it. We made it. We did the whole thing. Now we shuffle. Now, because the full stack of double sleeved is so hard to kind of like keep in your hand, I'll usually remove part of it, shuffle these ones, and they, oh, look at how good they shuffled. These Dragon Shield outer sleeves are freaking smooth. They're big, but once you get your deck kind of thinned a little bit after you've set up and, you know, discarded a few things, the shuffling is very smooth on them. And I've gotten pretty good at shuffling. I remember when I was first learning, I'm like, oh my god, I'll never get the hang of this. But I've gotten pretty good at it. And then I see, you know, guys on the tournaments, like on the broadcasts and whatnot, and they are just like whap, 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 doing it so fast. The trick, though, is you have to get good at not looking at your hands while you're shuffling, because in those tournaments, they actually disqualified or penalized players who looked at their hands while they were shuffling. In fact, Karis, I forgot her last name. She got a 2-prize penalty in her final matchup because she inadvertently looked down at her hands while she was shuffling, and they said that was considered card counting. So like she was viewing or stacking her deck is what they alleged that could be. Even though her opponent still cut her deck afterward, they still called that an illegal action, and they docked her a 2-prize penalty, meaning that her opponent had to take 2 fewer cards to win the game. All right, so now that I've got that shuffled there, we're going to get the other ones and shuffle them in now. I find that exhausting. Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about, you know, having rules and strict rules, but I do think that sometimes they're overly enforced. The last, I don't know what it was a big event, it was a regional event somewhere, I don't know, where they had docked players for celebrations. One was in Pokemon Go, but the other, there were 2, let's see, what was it? Yeah, so one was a TCG matchup, and the scenario was the guy needed like to draw into, I don't know, a boss's orders or something to win, right? And everybody knew that that's what he was looking for. He's even saying like, if I can get to a boss, so he's doing all this stuff, trying to get some draw into his hand, and he draws the boss's orders, and immediately is like, yes, that's the game, and he starts celebrating. Like he throws his headphones down, and in doing so, he knocks over his damage counters on his Pokemon in play, and like scoots some of the cards around and disrupts the state of the board. Now, technically, his opponent didn't concede. His opponent didn't have a chance to reach out his hand and, you know, and concede. So that celebration was considered premature in that he disrupted the flow of the board state and didn't actually play out any actions to accomplish the win. He just had the implied win, and because he didn't go through that, they're like, well, you disrupted the board state, that's the equivalent of flipping the table over, disqualified. And so they disqualified him for that after, in the moment, they had awarded him the win and announced him as the winner. They retroactively went back and were like, no, that's a loss, that's a forfeit, because he disrupted the board state. And like, it can seem like that's overly obnoxious, right? But in that scenario, I kind of side with the judges on that. Because to me, that's the equivalent of in football when a player is running down the field on a breakaway by himself, right about to get to the 1 yard line, and then starts celebrating. And they do this thing where they drop the ball behind them when they celebrate. But there's this trend where players do that as they're crossing into the goal line, and the ball never crosses into the goal line in their possession, and so they rule it a fumble, and it's literally fumbling on the 1 yard line. And I kind of side with the judges in that scenario because he didn't actually perform the winning action to win the game. He went straight to the celebration, and his opponent never, they never shook hands in the concession. Yeah, technically that is, I side with the judges on that. And while, of course the guy was just caught up in the moment of just like, the high stakes, he got the card he needed, he celebrated. Well, now he knows not to do that until you actually win. The other scenario that happened in that same tournament that I actually do not agree with the judges was he was getting the card that he needed. Everybody knew what it was, and he got it, played it, and won, like that, fair and square. And then in his celebration, he took off his headphones and dropped them on the board. Now, he did play out the actions and did perform all that stuff, but was just like, yeah, got up and started cheering. And they ruled that as excessive celebration, which they consider to be unsportsmanlike, and they disqualified his win. So that I do not agree with, because he did play out the win condition. He just got too excessive in his celebration. I don't think that that's, he wasn't running around the stage, jumping on the couch, screaming about how he was in love with Katie Holmes. He just was excited about winning, and I think that's okay. I think that's fine. Yeah, he partied too hard. He wasn't talking shit. He wasn't taunting his opponent. He was just celebrating the win, and I think that that's okay. Makes total sense. I guess I'm thinking about it anthropologically, where the culture has its rules, and as an outsider, I can either agree to the rules or remain outside. Yeah, and I know that like Pokemon tries to maintain the image of its like, squeaky clean facade. This is the game for people of all ages, and we don't want to invite any kind of unsportsmanlike scenarios or culture. They want to keep the culture clean, right? But if you notice, if in TCG Live, anytime you get a win, your characters taunt each other and they do a celebration animation. You can pick your celebration animation. So like, what happened in that tournament was no more excessive than what happens in the game that everybody trains to play the card game. So it's a little inconsistent in their rulings. Oh, one thing that I forgot to do. So I use these deck boxes because I get the 4-pack ones that have 4 of these and then a little dice box. And what's really cool is in tournament play, I have one that's it's 2 of these, and I can just take whichever one's out of the 4 boxes, put them into the 2 one, and take that with me to a tournament. And it has a cool little window, which they're like commander deck boxes, but what I like to do is when I have a full art card, which I don't think I have one. Let me see. Do I have one of a Lucario? I don't think I do. So I like to put one that's like themed for my deck. Let me look up my inventory to see if I have a Lucario. Oh, you know what? I have just the perfect card to put in here. Yes. Okay. So I was going to put the promo Riolu, but I want to put a Lucario. I know exactly which Lucario I'm going to put in the art window. This is going to be dope. I love this card, and it gives me somewhere to display my art cards other than just in my binders. Also, I have this cute Riolo too, where he's like, you can tell he was like fighting in the room and knocked over everything. But I'm not going to use that. I don't want a Riolo. I'm going to use a Lucario. Let me just find it. I know just the one. Here we go. It's a Lucario V-Star, and it's a promo. I think it came in an ETB. We're going to put in this one. This Lucario card is so fucking tough. I love it. Mom, I threw up pose. Exactly. I think you even said that whenever I pulled it on stream. Yeah, he's using the Leer attack. Get in that stupid case. There we go. So we've got the Lucario, and it slots right into the front slot of the deck. And boom, we have built a battle deck ready for play on this Saturday, this weekend. And this is how I build my decks. This is how I do it. Doesn't that look good though? The Lucario on there? That's fucking dope. And it's got the Lucario sleeves. Fuck yeah. Love it. Good deck. Good deck build. But yeah, this is one of the things that I just love doing is building these decks. And then since the coin, I don't want it to get mixed up with other things. I'm just gonna put it right here on the top, and so it's always there in this deck. I have the Lucario coin to go along with it. Yeah, building decks is so fun, and I enjoy doing this. And I like blinging them out. I like putting like special sleeves if I can, double sleeving them, whatever we gotta do, right, to make it look cool. I'm gonna do. But yeah, that was fun. Very fun, and now you all have seen the process of what I do when I make these decks. Anyway, I think this is probably a good stopping point. This is a lot of fun. It was kind of a chill night. I got to kind of do some cathartic deck building and show you guys a little bit of my process. Oh yeah, dude, thank you for the tutorial. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's just fun talking about deck building and like being able to do one. It's always really fun too. But yeah, okay, we're going to send a raid out. Let me see. This is Scott's PC, somebody who I have never met before, but we're going to go raid them. They're doing some pack rips. Oh, and actually it looks like they're ending their stream. I always hate that whenever I find somebody who's streaming and they're already ending things up. So let me see. Who can I raid? Man, a lot of people are ripping packs right now. I want to make sure we're not sending a raid to like a rip and shipper. I don't like that. I find that morally repugnant. All right, well, let me see. Do I have any friends online who are streaming? Seems like there's a lot of rip and shippers taking over Pokemon streams. Oh, Surly's playing. Let's go raid Surly. He just went offline. Damn it. Oh man, it is happening to everybody. Everybody's getting off. Surly has raided us so many freaking times. I rarely get the chance to raid him back because he usually ends his stream before I end mine. Okay. Let me see. Who do we got? Ooh, Wonderlist. Let's go raid Wonderlist playing some Dead by Daylight. There we go. That's a good streamer to raid. But anyway, so I had a lot of fun tonight building the decks, hanging out with you guys. We're going to send this raid over to Wonderlist Wonderland playing some Dead by Daylight. And drops are enabled, so if you all have your your Twitch account linked to your, I guess, to your Dead by Daylight account, you can win some in-game drops just by watching the stream. But we'll be back next week for some more Pokemon and Resident Evil. I don't know, how much did you enjoy or hate Resident Evil 6 when we played last Thursday, Ghost? I could sense some frustration in your voice a little bit. It's definitely a different kind of Resident Evil game. Really enjoyed it, but it took forever. I know. That was the longest chapter in existence. That was like 3 hours. We also died 10 times in the first chapter. But anyway, so long, fuckers. I hope you have a great night. Stay tuned for the raid. Bye. See you next time.
I'm injured.
Hey, Nico, right. I'm looking through Twitch. He was live last I saw.
I don't know if he's gone live
Yeah,
today.
no, he's playing Valorant.
Oh.
Yeah, he's on
Oh,
Valorant,
Gaylord.
streaming. No shit.
Yeah, what the fuck? Spectre, thank you for the raid. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Rusty. I'm sorry. Hi.